Hey Lockhart and beyond, welcome to Season 3 of 78644. Now you can see the episodes as well as listen to it. If you still want to listen, you can on all the regular channels, but you can check us out on YouTube. So stay tuned for lots of changes in 2025. You know they say that every town has a story, and this one is ours. I'm Stephen Collins, and this is 78644. Welcome to another episode of 78644, where we're throwing you a curveball with a mix of baseball, theater, music, and vintage charm. On this week's show, we kick off the 2025 season of Sandlot baseball with the Hawks as they prepare to hit the field on Sunday, March 8th as the iconic Wishing Well, a new Sandlot baseball field in Lockhart. We also talk about the final weekend of the Gaslight Baker Theater, a modern reimagining of Pride and Prejudice, a performance you won't want to miss. Plus, take a step back in time as we tour Magic Mirror Vintage, one of Lockhart's coolest vintage stores, where treasures of the past await. And we'll sit down with the very talented composer, producer, and musical director, Justin Sherburn, the mastermind behind the captivating Montopolis project, as he shares his story behind his musical interpretation of the silent film, The Return of Draw Egan, recently performed at the Gaslight Baker Theater. I'm Stephen Collins, and this is 78644.
Welcome to Good Things in Lockhart, a special segment of the 78644 podcast where we shine a light on the people, places, and stories that make Lockhart, Texas a truly special place. I'm Taylor Burge, and today we're diving into one of the most beloved pastimes in town, community baseball. We all remember the movie from our childhood, The Sandlot. Now we're all grown up, but the spirit of baseball lives on inside of us. A few years ago, a group of people in Lockhart came together to create Lockhart Sandlot Baseball Club. It began with one team and quickly grew to two, the Lockhart Hawks and the Meat City Smoke. There are over 50 community members involved, both men and women. Each spring, we get together to refresh our skills that we all forgot since the days of Little League. We are fortunate to have an incredible coach, Jessica Wimpy, who was a professional softball coach for several years. We endearingly call this time Wimpy Camp. We gather, warm up, stretch, and learn the basics of how to throw, catch, and hit the ball. This is great for someone like me who literally has zero experience in baseball. A couple years ago, I was able to connect our team with the owners of Tuish's Ranch, an event and horse polo field in town, and they too had a love of the game and jumped on board to help create Lockhart's very own Field of Dreams. We call it the Wishing Well. Now folks from anywhere can come out, bring a picnic, bring the family, the dogs, and enjoy the all-American pastime of Sandlot baseball. Our season is just getting started, and there are games booked almost every weekend. So come watch a game at the Wishing Well Field, located on the outskirts of Lockhart, open to the public. Check out LockhartHawks.com or follow us on Instagram to see the full lineup. It's an afternoon well spent, and it's sure to take you back to the good old days.
So when we started playing, we were renting the Little Leagues field at the Lockhart City Park. And then, we kind of started talking about the idea of building a field. Somewhere in town, Lockhart's there's a lot of country surrounding it. So there was lots of spaces where we drive by and just kind of think, oh, that could be a baseball field, or this could be a baseball field. And, we're friends with Skylar and the Reeves family and decided to just start a conversation with them. And over time, we've started coming down here and working on the space with the Reeves family, and then Jack Sanders got involved and kind of built quickly from there. And last year we started playing really on here late summer, and this will be our first full year and season at the Wishing Well.
To me, Sandlot baseball is about community. It's about hanging out with my friends and working really hard on something that most of us either have never done before, or if we're doing it, it's been a while. So it's just that supportive love for each other, hanging out, learning a new skill, coming together.
Sandlot baseball, I feel like today marks my anniversary. So 1 year, one season. This is the crest of my second season.
Hearing about Sandlot was kind of mind-blowing to me because it was everything I heard about it was just like the movie, The Sandlot, like the neighborhood kids coming together at the local baseball diamond to play fast pitch baseball.
Sandlot baseball gives you a lot of opportunities if you don't want to join, but you've never actually played, and it gives you a lot of just opportunities.
Absolutely. If you're in the Lockhart area on a weekend with no plans, come on out to the Wishing Well. See a little baseball, meet some people, make some friends, maybe have a beer or a hot dog. You never know. It's a good time.
Hoyt Van Tanner spent years playing honky-tonks, but all folks really wanted to hear was boot stomp and line dance chants. While he just wanted to make people cry. Tired of the noise, he ditched the stage and tried his hand at goat whisperings to limited success. Saddled with bad debt, owing his productivity for betting big on mutton busting and often losing, Hoyt found himself in hot water with the cross-eyed reverend of a local cowboy church, as well as several bookies that reverends tend to employ. On the run, Hoyt eventually landed here in Lockhart, where he changed his name, found love, got a gym membership. But every now and then, late at night, when the mood's right, you might still hear that voice drifting through the stacks. And I think we can hear that voice right about now.
Her face red like Anna Karenina. She was strong as that old Jimson weed, and oh, she could dance like a blind beggar's hand, just waiting for someone to see. Spoke like a hard-night bullmont, carried on like the old Swanee. And she came along like a ravenous song, so hungry for someone to sing. And the days turned like cowards so swiftly to the hour of need. And I'll be a martyr to whatever your heartache will lead. And I'll slip through your hands like a boy born with no name. Her eyes, they were set like a cannon, and boy, they'd blow you way, away. And she'd cross your mind like a cheap box of wine, and each sip is like a track switch and train. Swore like a dry county welder. She'd brag on the side sail to sea, and she couldn't make love like a gust of road, just buckle like the bends in a creek. And the days turned like cowards so swiftly to the hour of need. I'll be a martyr to whatever your heartache will lead. And I'll slip through your hands like a boy born with no name. was like a southern scrimshander that lied through the tails of my teeth. And I'd break my bread like I was breaking a sweat and kept pushing and pushing away. And the days turn like cowards so swiftly to the hour of need. I'll be a martyr to whatever your heartache will lead. I'll slip through your hands like a boy born with no name.
This is Taylor Burge with the 78644 podcast and Good Things in Lockhart, and I am here at the dress rehearsal for Pride and Prejudice, the production that's taking place at the Gaslight Baker Theater in Lockhart, Texas. And we're going to get a little inside scoop of what's going down at the Gaslight Baker Theater. Come with me and check it out. I am Caitlin Beebe, and I play Lizzie in Pride and Prejudice.
My name is Camp Odom, and I play Charles Bingley in the play.
There's a lot of different emotional pinpoints that we're trying to get with the show, but what we really want audience to think about more deeply is the way that, even though this is a super fun show, we put in all these new ways to bring it a lot of life, but we also don't want to forget the meaning of the story hasn't really changed that much from, or society really hasn't changed that much from Pride and Prejudice being written 212 years ago to now, especially with the shift of how everything has been going lately. We just kind of want to say it really isn't that different.
I think people are really going to like it. It's a modern take on Pride and Prejudice, away from the, people enjoy like the natural hoity-toity, like high society British thing, but this is very different. This is Pride and Prejudice club version, right? Where like I preface to some of my older family members, right? Be like, don't expect traditional, and it's fun. It's a great take with, it still keeps all the original themes and characters of the original picture and writing, while being able to express something different, or at least in a different style.
Pride and Prejudice is actually one of my favorite novels. I've loved Lizzie for like over 10 years, and Miranda and I actually used to know each other. We were from the same hometown. So when I heard that she was directing the show, I was like, yes, like I have to be a part of it.
And so I really just want everyone to clock that we're still following the same things while having a wonderful Valentine's Day and filled with love, but not forgetting the underlying things that we want everybody to think about. We have been working since end of December, I think, actually. We've been hard at work for at least 3 months.
Come out for a fun, naughty, good time.
Come to see Pride and Prejudice at the Gaslight. We're open on starting Valentine's Day, and we close on March 2nd. You can get your tickets you can either Google the Gaslight Baker Theater tickets, and then they'll take you to your ticket website, or you can go onstagetickets.com. I believe that is our link to get those. And yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun show. We have dancing, some fun intimacy scenes that aren't actually normally scripted, and it's really a hoot, holler, fun, good time. So come out and party with us.
It's a storied historical theater. We have ghosts in this theater that we talk about, Colonel Baker, sometimes he slams doors shut. I don't know. But it has been wonderful working in this space.
Okay, so the Laughing Ladies are into this show. If you don't know about the Laughing Ladies, these folks are going to tell me about their story and the Laughing Ladies and how they experience the ghosts of the Gaslight Baker Theater. And if the ghosts are happy with the production, that's an obvious reason why you should come out.
So me and Caitlin as Darcy and Lizzie as romantic leads, we were getting a little intimate for some of our promo shoots.
Right.
And we're in that hallway up there.
On the stairs.
And everybody else was occupied, either building a set or changing into costumes for their own respective pictures. So then me and Caitlin, we get a little close.
Okay.
Clear as day in both of our ears.
Literally, just a giggle.
And we thought it was someone just screwing around with us.
We
They
both
might
went,
have gone around and we looked up there and no one's up there. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
I went downstairs and I was like, who just giggled? Tell me now. I was like, you're not going to be in trouble. I just want to know.
And no one fessed up to it, and everybody was denying it. And then we've come to find out at another build day, one of the ushers who's been here a long time, I believe she's a board member as well, she comes in and she says, oh, the Laughing Ladies are back, because apparently the Laughing Ladies haven't been around for a while. They are generally if they're laughing, that means they're enjoying the show.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
So
their stamp of approval from
we
Ghost.
have the Laughing Ladies stamp of approval.
If you love romance and a modern take on a classic book you used to read in high school, I think this is going to be for you. The energy is really high. People are so excited about this. And I always just love seeing the passion that these artists and performers and directors and tech all have to come together and give us this wonderful performance. Come and check out the Pride and Prejudice at the Gaslight Baker Theater, running until March 2nd. We'll see you there.
You can't picture, Leonard Skinner without Ronnie Van Zant, and Ronnie Van Zant without the high roller hat with the rattlesnake band on it. The high roller actually was created by my grandfather for my dad, who at the time was selling insurance in Waco. When he sent it to him, he put a note with it that, he wasn't anything but a high roller, wanted to go have coffee with the ladies. Selling insurance instead of coming back to work for him. Of course, that triggered it because he started selling more hats than he was insurance.
Come on down to Texas Hatters, where we top the best.
Looking for a getaway with a little extra charm? Welcome to Birdie House, a stunning neoclassical Victorian mansion right in the heart of historic Lockhart, Texas, where small-town charm meets big-time memories. Whether you're booking a weekend retreat, weddings, or a photo shoot, Birdie House blends antique elegance with modern comfort for an unforgettable stay. And here's a little insider tip. When you book through Airbnb, tell the host to, quote, tip the band, and you'll get a discount. Ready to experience Texas hospitality at its finest? Visit birdiehouse.com to learn more. Birdie House. Stay a while. Make some memories.
When I take my sugar to tea, all the boys are jealous of me.
Well, thanks for tipping the band.
Join 78644 Friends, a community making sure musicians can thrive. For $5 a month, 100% of your donation goes straight to the artist. Thanks to our subscribers, we've raised over $8,000 and counting. Just recently, we tipped musician Dustin Welsh $474. By subscribing, you're truly helping. Sign up today at 78644podcast.com.
78644, tastiness is mine.
Nestled in the heart of downtown Lockhart, Magic Mirror Vintage isn't just a clothing store, it's a curated treasure trove of one-of-a-kind garments, records, and nostalgic finds. From 70s glam to Western classics, every piece really has its own story waiting to be discovered. We'll be chatting with Natalie Ribbons, the shop's owner and visionary, to hear about her passion for vintage fashion, her favorite finds, and how Lockhart's creative community inspires her collection. So whether you're a seasoned thrifter or just love a good story, stay tuned. And this one stop you won't want to miss. She may just have put me in a fashion show. I'm just saying.
Hello, I'm Natalie, and this is Magic Mirror. This is my shop here in Lockhart, Texas. Well, here we have an ever-changing selection of sunglasses. Over here, this kind of rotates with different products all the time. I like to keep it fresh. Right now we have some bath salts, some candles, soaps. This is our new line of nail polishes that we just got in this week. I like to have some seasonal bath bombs over here. And these are herbal smokes. Really good candles over here. We always have a rotating selection of socks. Here are the greeting cards. And I always like to stay stocked with some cool paperbacks. Usually a lot of sci-fi and romance stuff. I started this store in 2017, and when I moved to Lockhart, I just wanted to stay put and not be driving back and forth. So we signed a lease that year in a smaller space, and then about 5 years ago, we got into this space. And it's 3,000 square feet of clothes. I buy all the clothes myself. I'm the only buyer and picker, and a lot of stuff is walk-ins because we buy, sell, trade here. But I do a lot of house calls, and if you're selling, I am buying. Most of the clothes in the store are vintage. I try to do 90s or older. Every once in a while, we'll carry something that's more contemporary if I feel like it doesn't feel like it's crappy quality and it's, on trend, all that kind of thing. But I would say right now, we've lately been focusing 70s to 90s. We also always have a bunch of t-shirts. This is one of the few sections in the store where I do carry a little bit of new stuff because sometimes I just find fun printers and stuff that I really enjoy what they're doing. And we also have a men's section. We'd started out only doing women's vintage for the most part, but we have a little bit of something for everybody. And I think that we're going to be expanding on this section quite a bit in 2025. And so, this really is kind of like learning along the way, fake it till you make it kind of situation. And it's getting close to a decade, and I'm just really proud because I've learned a lot of hard lessons throughout this experience, and I've retained a lot of employees through almost the entire journey, and they've learned along with me. So it's just been really special to have that kind of opportunity here in a small town. As for advice for somebody who wants to get into it now, and as we become an increasingly recycled economy, it's just going to be a bigger part of how we exist on the planet. And we want to continue to reuse these resources that already exist. So I would say just, every single year I have to recalibrate something that I'm doing about this operation. And when you're stuck in your ways, you're going to fall behind. We're open 7 days a week. We're always buying. I really try to emphasize the fact that we buy, sell, trade because I am out in the field picking on a regular basis, but I think that it feels really good for me when I'm putting money directly in the pocket of the people who are actually shopping here rather than, just paying strangers or Goodwill or anything like that. I really want this to be like a cycle where we feed each other. And I love recycling the clothes that other people don't need anymore. A lot of times my customers have really great taste, and I just want them to financially benefit from, the stuff that they don't need anymore rather than just donating it where they don't get anything for it. I think it's such a great symbiosis, and I'd love to see more and more stuff walking through the door. Well, now that we've shown you a little bit of the store, I think that we're going to do a fashion show for you. So step right over here.
Justin Sherburn is a composer, producer, and musical director, and the mastermind behind the captivating Montopolis project. Recently, he performed a live score to the silent film The Return of Draw Egan at Lockhart's Gaslight Baker Theater. We caught up with him at the theater before he went on to discuss his work and his process. Oh, and in case you missed the theater performance, you can check out Justin with his project Montopolis in San Marcos on March 22nd, with a live performance and viewing of the film Yacona, in which he scored the entire soundtrack. We featured that on episode 36. You can learn more at montopolismusic.com.
Hi, I am Justin Sherburn. I write music. I do a lot of live scores for silent films. And tonight here at the Gaslight Baker Theater in Lockhart, this is a tribute to Ennio Morricone. And I'll be performing excerpts of his music set to a silent film called Return of Draw Egan. So there's a long and storied history of this particular performance. Originally, I did this in, I think, 2014. And we just did it to the original movie. And my idea was to arrange all this various music of Ennio Morricone and set it to old silent film. And so I did that, and it was a lot of fun. But then we decided to do it again years later. And I had two comedians who are associated with Master Pancake Theater, a popular comedy show at Alamo Drafthouse. And they rewrote the film. So they took this original film, it's an old Western starring William S. Hart, and they extracted all the dialogue cards from the film. And they replaced those dialogue cards, much like Master Pancake would do, talking over the film, rewriting the film for a new experience for the audience. They rewrote the dialogue cards to make it hilarious. And I think they did a great job. It's pretty funny. You know, it's a bunch of stupid jokes, and it's real silly, and we have a good time with it. Detriment, probably. I kind of want to always push the envelope, and like just doing a score to a silent film isn't enough. I mean, these are public domain films. You can do whatever you want with them. That's the idea, is to take what's in the past and make something new with them. That's why we have public domain, you know? And so it's a lot more difficult because, you know, people are purists, and especially in the film community, and they want to see like the original Nosferatu, the original, you know, Man with a Movie Camera or whatever. But the whole public domain idea is to like, here's this stuff from the past, let's make it new again. And so I always want to kind of mess with the formula a little bit and have fun with it. I mean, I guarantee you there would be nobody screening The Return of Draw Egan for any reason whatsoever if it wasn't for this. This in particular is pretty easy, honestly, because I didn't write the music. I'm just rearranging the music of Ennio Morricone. And to me, the fun part was, I really wanted to dig deep into Morricone because he's so prolific and he wrote so much music. And only a small fraction of that music is his classic Western themes. But he wrote all this great music for all these different things. And so I do play the classic themes, Good, Bad, the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, Ecstasy of Gold, these kind of things are in there. But a lot of it is like, he did all this kind of, I'm a real fan of like, kind of the funk scores of the 70s, like Lalo Schifrin, and Ennio Morricone was doing that as well, where it was like this crazy instrumentation, you know, like this funk rhythm section and like a tabla player and, you know, just random stuff that they were doing. And to me, there's like, it's a lot more funny, you know, to put that stuff against in a Western. Rather than, you know, and so I don't know, I just had a lot of fun digging deep into the Ennio Morricone catalog and picking little weird things and putting them in there. One thing I discovered was this film Revolver. It's like an action film from the 70s, and it's got this great music. And so I stole a lot of things from that soundtrack. Montopolis, this group, so basically, let's go the Wayback Machine. Justin was a sideman for many years, and he played with various groups in Austin. I played with like 8.5 Souvenirs, this jazz group, and Arkenville River, a rock and roll band, and lots of groups in between. And finally, around 2009, a friend of mine asked me to compose music for this adaptation of a film called Le Ballon Rouge, The Red Balloon, and he was doing a theatrical piece, an adaptation of that film. And so I, for the first time, wrote a whole instrumental piece of music, hour and 20 minutes, something like that, and set it on a group of like 6 or 7 musicians. And we had a great time doing it. It was super fun. It was like, oh, this is a whole other thing I can do, not just be a sideman. And so that's how Montopolis began. And so after that, then I was looking for what's the next project that we can do. And so I found this film Man with a Movie Camera, and we did a live score to that, and it was a lot of fun as well. And so that kind of set me on the path. Basically, at the end of the day, it's an ability to get out of sort of rock clubs and that kind of environment and more of a concert setting, more of a chamber music setting in these theaters. And that's become a big catalyst for me, and I think just a really interesting subculture in our society right now, art house cinema. And that's what I'm doing a lot of. I'm touring around the country playing at these art house cinemas. And because of the shift in our culture, this subculture has become so important because, a lot of that content has sort of shifted up river to where a lot of films that used to be exclusive to art house cinema has gone, to the major cinemas. And I feel like the art house cinemas around the country that are really thriving are becoming more like multi-purpose, multidisciplinary venues. And they're doing film screenings, but they're also doing, music performance and, just gathering. It's really like where intellectuals and communities gather, cinephiles gather, people who love the arts gather on a real community, roots-based, grassroots level. And it's really fun because that's where the smarties in every town gather. And it's fun. Those are my people. And so that's why I'm, continue, and I'm really enjoying, playing in all these places around the country.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Texas Hatters, Wella Foods, and Thunderbird Bars, and our in-kind sponsors, Printing Solutions, Courthouse Nights, The Rock House Airbnb, Birdie House Airbnb, Gaslight Baker Theater, and Crystal Glaze Photography. 78644 is produced by Kate Collins, recorded in True Image and Sound at Lockhart, edited by GHA Marketing, social media managed by GHA Marketing and Crystal Glaze, music on this episode by Hoyt Van Tanner, Justin Sherburn, and other music by myself, Stephen Collins. A special thank you to our correspondent Taylor Burge from Good Things in Lockhart for helping us out on this episode. Our show is available on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Radio Public, YouTube, and everywhere else for podcasts or streams. Thanks.